Hello, everyone. So good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. So in Malaysia, it's good evening. I believe we have some international participants as well. Welcome to the Live Talk 2025 from the School of Health Sciences. Our title of the Live Talk is Biotech or Biomed, Choosing a Path in Medical Science. Let me just introduce myself. So I'll be a moderator for this session. My name is Dr. Lim Chui Ling. And I'm also from the School of Health Sciences. Yep, good evening. So I just want to briefly, very quickly introduce the speakers for today. We have TS Dr. Yenny Yap, and we also have Dr. Shamala Salvamani. Hi, say hi. Okay, so these are our program directors. Yeah, Dr. Yenny is a program director for Medical Biotechnology program in IMU. And Dr. Shamala is the Program Director for Biomedical Science. Now, please allow me to share my screen. Yeah, and I'm going to bring you through some housekeeping rules. Just give me a moment. Okay, can you give me a thumbs up if you see my screen? Okay, thank you very much. So this is our housekeeping rules. We have muted the mics for all attendees. For Q&A, definitely we will want you to participate. So for questions and feedback, please use the Q&A panel. You should be able to see it at the bottom. And this live webinar will be recorded, okay, for your information. So I just want to do a quick run through of the program for this evening. I'm doing the welcome remarks right now. So in about 5 minutes or in a few minutes from now, I'm going to introduce Dr. Yenny Yap, and she's going to talk about the Medical Biotechnology program first. What is Medical Biotechnology, and what is the IMU Medical Biotechnology program all about? And this will be followed by Dr. Shamala. She's going to introduce on the Biomedical Science program, and that will also take about 20 minutes or so, but we'll play by ear, okay? So we're not so rigid about the timing. So hold on to your questions. I'm sure you have lots of questions. Please put them in the chat box, and we're going to address them during the forum and interactive session. So at 8:50-ish, we're going to address your questions, and we're going to also pose some questions and challenge our program directors. We call them the PDs, program directors, on how much they know about their programs. Yeah, and basically, medical biotech and biomedical science, what's the difference, is a perennial question. We get these questions all the time. So today, we will try our best to answer those questions. Okay? And then we'll close with some final words. So how does that sound? Yeah, without further ado, so let me just, okay. Yeah, raise the hand. Let me just unshare. Okay, Dr. Yenny may share your screen. So I'm just going to very quickly introduce Dr. Yenny, TS Dr. Yenny. Now, if you're wondering what TS means, it is a title for professional technologist. Yeah, so Dr. Yenny is a registered professional technologist with the Malaysia Board of Technologists, MBOT. Yeah, so she has a TS in her name. So Dr. Yenny is a program director for the Medical Biotechnology program at the School of Health Sciences, IMU University. And she's also a professional technologist from MBOT, as I mentioned. Her expertise spans natural product drug discovery, molecular biology, and transcriptomics. If you don't know what transcriptomics is, you can ask her, yeah? With a focus on bioactive compounds from medicinal mushrooms. And she contributes to biotechnology in healthcare through research in genome mining, metabolic engineering, and also cancer studies. So can we have Dr. Yenny's slides shared, please? Right, okay. So I can see the slides. Can we full screen? Now over to you, Dr. Yenny.
Thank you, Chilling, for the kind introduction. So a very good evening to all of you. So I'm Dr. Yenny. Just I would like to use this time to give a very brief introduction on what is biotechnology about, and also about the program by itself. So biotechnology basically is using living organisms or systems or processes to develop products that will improve the living beings. Basically, in biotech, we have a various fields like industrial, agriculture, medical, and marine. And in IMU, our program is basically focused on the medical aspect, which we call it as a medical biotechnology. The main emphasis is on healthcare, diagnostic, vaccines, gene therapy. Okay, so all in all, we would like to improve the human health and medicine through innovations like drug development, genetic engineering, and diagnostic tools. Some of the key areas that inside this program will be gene therapy, personalized medicine, vaccines, diagnostic, and regenerative medicine. Okay, basically biotechnology is like you ask yourself a questions on like what can we do to fix something. Okay, so that's what about that biotechnology is about. So the next slide, please. So our program is a single major full-time conventional program by coursework, meaning that students are expected to attend the lectures, sessions face-to-face, okay, majority of it, okay. And this program is 3 years, considering that it is an honors, okay. We actually have a very packed schedule. So we have 3 years honors program with 5 semesters of long semesters, 2 short semesters, and 1 industrial trainings. So the industrial trainings comprise of 24 weeks, in which I will explain to you in later on. And the long semester, we have 5 semesters. Each of it is like 17 weeks, including the exam as well as the study weeks. Okay, so short semester is only 8 weeks. Okay, we have 2 of them. One is the MPU short semester, and then another one is the short semester one in between the programs. Right, the next slide, please. So our program is actually accredited by MQA as well as MBOT. MBOT actually stands for Malaysian Board of Technologies. So MBOT is a recognized professional body in which they recognize the TS, professional technologists and also certified technicians in various technology fields. Okay, so all in all, MBOT is actually aimed to elevate the status of these technologies. Just for your information, all our staff are actually registered with MBOT, with almost 6 out of 8 of us carrying the TS title. Okay, so besides that, if you are opting for some like a credit transfer program, we actually partnered with the University of Newcastle in Australia, in which students can actually do 1.5 years in IMU and then proceed to Newcastle for another 2 year studies to earn their degree in Bachelor in Biotechnology. Meanwhile, there's also a direct progression pathways to University of Strathclyde at UK Glasgow, in which students can actually pursue the Master of Science in Industrial Biotechnology or Master of Science in Forensic Science. Total will be 4 years, which is 3 years in IMU and 1 year in Strathclyde. Okay, so the next slide, please. So in this program, we have various teaching and learning activities, such as lectures, either face-to-face or online, flipped classrooms, tutorials, problem-based learning, case studies, workshops, practical, which must be face-to-face because this program is actually applied science. So we emphasize a lot on the techniques. Okay, so all our practicals are basically face-to-face, definitely. So we also have a computer-assisted learning session, like computer session. Okay, micro-learning videos in which students can access as a supplementary material to aid in their teaching and to aid in their learning. Okay, undergraduate research in semester 5, industrial visits in some of our models, as well as industrial training, which is like 24 weeks. Similarly to 6 months. Okay, so these are just some photos showing you like what our students have been doing all this while. We also have like the Industrial Advisory Board Student Forum, where we will invite industries players from key top companies to come over to have a forum with our students where they can actually discuss about industrial relevant biotechnologies. Okay, then we also have industrial visits to various places, depends on the models. Some we went to like winery, we went to Port Dickson, okay, in one model called biodiversity, okay, and also we also did some community service projects, okay, embedded in the curriculum itself, right? Next slide, please. So this is our program structure. Basically, we start with short semester one, where you have all the MPU models. So if, let's say, students join us in July, then this short semester, this MPU short semesters will be your very first semesters. Then in September, okay, there will be the official biotechnology program semester, in which we have basic maths and statistics, science communication, chemistry for biotechnologies, biodiversity and conservation for biotechnology, instrumentation, biosafety and quality management, molecular biology and immunology. So basically those models that in the blue box, it means that we don't have any final examination, but mainly just in-course assessment, meaning that you will be tested based on various assignments or practical reports or class tests, okay? Right. So models like biodiversity and conservation students, basically there will be field visits to places like, I think last year we went to Port Dickson Tanjung Tuan, okay, where students kind of like, collect the samples and to do lab studies, okay, on the soil samples. Then instrumentation, we went to some biotech companies. Last year, we actually went to neuroscience, okay, where students will be introduced to various equipments or sequencing machines so that they kind of they understand what this equipment is about. Okay, then they want to do to understand how does all this program, how does this workflows actually work. Then in semester two, we have general pharmacology, medical microbiology, ethics and biotech, applied biochem, cell and tissue culture techniques, and fundamentals of bioinformatics. So cell and tissue culture techniques basically is a model which is quite fun, where we have practicals, a lot of practicals, okay, which separated to two parts. One is on the animal tissue culture, and another part is on plant tissue culture, in which students will be taught how to prepare the medium, how to culture the cells, how to do cell counting, okay? And fundamental of bioinformatics basically is very important because it's part of data analysis. And students, this is like the beginner's model, in which throughout the next semesters or upcoming semester, you will learn into more deeper into bioinformatics. For example, in semester 3, in one of the elective is algorithms and data structure. So this is also like we emphasize a lot on data analysis because we need to teach students on how on the bioinformation technologies, how it actually evolves in biotech, because this is a very fast evolving field, right? So SEM 3, besides the data structure, we also have analytical chemistry for biotechnologies, principle of sustainable development. So this is actually a new model because our curriculum basically every 3 to 5 years, we will do a review. Okay. So this coming September onwards, okay, so this will be a new model that we're going to introduce to our MD 125 students, okay, because this is in line with the government's the government's initiative on sustainability agenda as well as the SDGs, right? Then we also have forensic science, fundamental of structural biology, molecular medicine, and management and experimentation on animals. So in this model, basically students will be taught on how to handle the animals and also various injections like intravenous, intramuscular, as well as intraperitoneal, right? So forensic science is also another interesting model in which we actually have a simulated crime scene where students will need to collect evidences from the simulated crime scene. And this is actually like a peer evaluation model, in which the students will actually evaluate their own peers, okay, on the techniques when it comes to sample collection. Then there's also a field visit to forensic science. Field visit to Institute Kimia Malaysia last year, okay. So every year, this model we will have a field visit eventually. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so in semester 4, we have toxicology and toxinology, omics technology, bioprocess technology, fundamentals of entrepreneurship, applied biotechnics in biotechnology and community health, data analytics and social responsibility. So social responsibility is the model in which it will tie up with, it's actually an MP model in which students are required to come up with a project that will be beneficial to the community. So you will be given a certain small funding for you to run the project. Okay. So after that, we have a short semester one where we have pathology for biotechnologies, research methodology, current trends in medical biotechnology, and there are two electives that we need to choose from, either from traditional Chinese medicine or either radiobiology. So short semester one in this sense is, as I mentioned earlier, is an 8-week semester in which this semester basically there's no final exam, but you will be very packed with a lot of report and also proposal writing, especially in current trend in medical biotechnology. Students are required to come up with a review article, okay, in within the school and in within the cohort for us to mark, okay, right. Of course, some very good review articles, basically, the supervisors will actually help to publish the article, and this is actually good, okay, for the students in terms of CV, right? Then in semester 5 is mainly the medical biotechnology research project, and there are also 5 electives for you to choose from, in which you have to select 3. Okay, so the options will include biotechnology research utilization, fundamentals of business management, fundamentals of cosmeceutical, biofarming, as well as functional food, nutraceutical and supplements. Okay, and then SEM 6 is the biotechnology internship, in which we will have students will actually go to companies, okay, or anywhere that they wanted for their 24 weeks internship. Okay. So if you have any questions regarding the curriculum, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box. Okay. So the next slide, yeah. So this is a slide showing some of our now it's already alumni, okay, where they went to various places for their internship. Okay, so what I'm highlighting here is basically those who went to overseas for their internship experience. Like in Hong Kong, the Stem Cell and Regenerative Consortium, Academia Sinica in Taiwan, ASA in Singapore, and US, Singapore. Okay, even at this moment, we do have a student who currently in US Singapore to do his internship as well. Okay, his project is actually on stem cell bioengineering. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Then we also have students went to Auckland, New Zealand, and also another one in Asia, Singapore. Okay, so the next slide, please. Yeah, so as I mentioned just now, one of the model in the current trend in biotechnology. So these are some of the article that has been published by our students together with the supervisor, of course, okay, to various journals. Okay, most of these are actually ISI or Scopus cited journals. Okay. Next slide, please. So these are our students' testimonials. To be honest, our program is a small program. We don't have that many students every year. Okay, roughly like 20, 30 about that. But this is considered a good thing as well, because between the students and the lecturers, we do have a very close connection. Okay, so let's say you are not attending classes, then we will know straight away. And students are very happy with the program, and they are kind enough to always give us a very good rating. And of course, also as per the MBOD requirement, students during the practical session, basically we only allow maximum of 4 students in a group, okay, during the practicals. So this will actually very much will help them with their hands-on practice, okay, and also the exposure, right? Yeah, I consider that as a good thing, right? And the next one. So just a glance, okay, at a glance of what medical biotechnologists, I mean, like upon your graduation, what can actually you do, right? So for example, I've highlighted here like academia, quality assurance, regulatory affairs, research and development, business development and entrepreneurship. And they, of course, they can work at various places like the startups in the healthcare innovation, also some biotech companies like, of course, the international well-known recognized one would be like Pfizer, Attendorf. Okay, all these are actually very, very well-known international companies. Okay, of course, if let's say you want to venture into academia and teaching, then most likely you will teach the students, do research in the universities. Okay, QA, QC, or assurance officer, basically, they will ensure whether those biotech products are safe or meet the required standards, and also check for the errors, follow rules, and keep the good records. Meanwhile, as a regulatory affairs specialist, basically, they will help to get the products approved by the authority and make sure the companies follow all the rules and regulations. Research and development, basically students can be a scientist, a researcher. Of course, our models emphasize a lot on bioinformatics and also data analytics. Okay, so basically they can be trained as a bioinformatician or data analyst where they can study gene cells or data to develop new medicines, especially nowadays when we have these precision methods. Bioinformaticians and data analysts is actually quite well sought after, right? Then business development will be like getting a role in like biotech product specialist or manager, where you will support or promote certain biotech products or even equipment. Okay, be a trainee, train the users on how to use this product and help to improve the products or equipment based on the feedback collected. Entrepreneurship will be, let's say, if you are really into biotech, you have your own idea, then most likely you can actually set up your own biotech company. Okay, of course, that would be a very far-fetched idea, to be honest. Then, last but not least, the medical science liaison, clinical research associate. So actually, clinical research associate is someone who oversees clinical trials to test new drug safety. So recently, we don't have the students who actually intern in one of our GTP companies. Of course, if you want to know more about this, please follow our next webinar, which is happening in June, right? We will talk more about all these opportunities. So anyway, come back to this, the clinical research associate, which is basically, they will work closely with hospitals or clinical trials institution, okay, to come up with to oversee the clinical trials basically, and also prepare all the regulatory documents, okay, to test new drugs safely, right? So medical science liaison, meanwhile, is like they usually are considered like a writer, okay, they share medical info with doctors and gather feedback for the companies, right? Next slide, please. We have the next slide. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so this is our next slide on the minimum entry requirement. Of course, IMU has always had the latest documents uploaded online. So this is the QR code where you can actually scan and you can see more of the entry requirements for various background. Here I just highlighted a few, like from A-levels, SCPM, OSMAT, okay, foundation studies. This is from the IMU foundation studies, UEC, and also Australian University Foundation programs. Basically, okay, our minimum requirement for biotech is 2.00 of the CGPA. Okay, it's about 2.00. Okay, so A-level should be CDD. Okay, so please feel free to get more information yourself, okay, by scanning the QR code, or you can just Google minimum entry requirements 2025 IMU, then the documents will pop up. Okay, right, the next slide, please. And this is the English requirement. Okay, so same for Malaysian students, what very short 3 IELTS is 5.5 and etc. Again, IMU has actually uploaded this document it's actually the same document, okay, with the earlier one, so you can just download that and please feel free to refer yourself if you are ever interested in our program. So all in all, actually, our programs is emphasized on more industry relevant skills like laboratory techniques, scientific writing, certain regulatory knowledge in the model, like the instrumentation, of course, data analysis. Okay, so these are the industry relevant skills that we would like to emphasize in the curriculum, because this is also based on the feedback from our industry's partner. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, so that's all from me. And if you are interested to know more about our program and also what are the events that we have organized every year or upcoming events, then please feel free to follow us. Okay, so this is a photo taken like just last year when we celebrate, we welcome our junior to the program. So this is a senior junior bonding, like we call it. Right. Okay, thank you so much. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yenny. Now, I noticed there are some questions already on chat. Please hold on to your horses. We will have the forum session, the Q&A session after the talks, yeah? So if you have any questions on medical biotechnology, regarding the program, regarding career opportunities, feel free to post your questions on chat. We will address them, yeah, as best as we could. So thank you. Round of applause for Dr. Yenny. And please be on standby, and we will come back later. Yeah. So next in the program is an introduction to biomedical science. Let me just introduce Dr. Shamala. Dr. Shamala is the program director for the Bachelor of Science Honours in Biomedical Science at IMU University. And in her role, she oversees the program's curriculum and ensures it aligns with current industry standards and, of course, professional bodies. And Dr. Shamala emphasizes a comprehensive blend of theoretical knowledge and practical skills, fostering analytical thinking and effective communication with students. And she also highlights the importance of internships. I noticed there are some questions on internships. Yeah, we're going to address them to bridge the gap between academia and professional practice, and thus preparing graduates for successful careers in biomedical science. So without further ado, let us welcome Dr. Shamala, and she's now ready with the slides. The floor is yours, Dr. Shamala.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chui Ling. Before that, can I check my slide is visible in full mode?
Yes, it is. You can see
yes.
very clearly.
Am I visible? Okay.
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Lim. Okay, hi everyone. Yeah, thank you for the kind introduction to our Dr. Lim Chui Ling. So I am Dr. Shamla, the Program Director for Biomedical Science in IMU University. Right, so welcome and thank you for joining this introduction session. Yeah. So I'm sure you have heard a lot on medical biotech, right? So now you'll be wondering, okay, what is the difference between medical biotech and biomedical science? So you keep the differences later during the forum, yeah? So basically, I'm going to touch more on what is biomedical science all about, right? So if you like biology and chemistry, I hope you do, right? So if you really love them, so this is the place for you, because biomedical science touches more on biology, chemistry-based discipline. So where we apply that in healthcare laboratory. For what reason? It is to diagnose, to research, and also to support the treatment of diseases. Because we all know doctors as the one that treat the patients, right? But usually biomedical scientist is hidden behind. So we are actually the unseen hero behind the whole concept of treatment, okay? Because we diagnose the diseases. Okay, so maybe you can know what are the disciplines that biomedical science are related to, right? So as what I mentioned just now, biomedical science is the study of basic sciences related to medicine. Okay, so if you like medicine, but you don't want to end up as a doctor because you're scared of blood and, surgeries, a lot of things, but you want to contribute in the field of healthcare. So you can think of biomedical science, right? So it basically focuses on understanding how this human body function in both health and also during disease condition. So we basically use this knowledge in various skills like what you can see here. Okay, so various fields that you can see here, you can see genetics, you can see psychology, microbiology, pharmacology, biotechnology, immunology. I'm sure you already know what most of it is, right? Like genetics, like why genes is being used, for identifying the diseases, like what is the role of biochemistry, histopathology, cytopathology, and hematology. So you can see a lot of logy there, right? So pharmacology, it's very interesting because we study on drugs to see like how it can be used to treat the diseases, right? And biotechnology, I think, have been well explained by Dr. Yanni just now. Immunology, we studied on immune system. And hematology, very interesting because you will be studying on blood, right? All the blood disorders. Cytopathology will be examination on cells under microscope. You can see a lot of pictures like, scientists viewing under microscope. Histopathology is studies on tissue as well, basically to diagnose all the different kind of diseases, the stages of diseases, and so on. So biochemistry. So biochemistry, it's understanding all the chemical processes and also metabolism or metabolic processes, reactions happening within our body, right? So these are basically all the modules that you'll be seeing across as well in biomedical science program, yeah? Okay, so talking about career, because usually when we talk about like what you will be learning, what type of discipline, like what I have mentioned, and then now you'll be wondering, right, okay, I have learned about all this. Where am I going to end up with, right? So because many people think that biomedical science leads only to lab job. So that is a very typical common things that people used to think. But in reality, it's a gateway to diverse and evolving career paths, which I'm going to share to you. So as what you can see here, it's only not related to healthcare, but it is also open up to research, education, business, even law and policy, right? So we can see our core business is obviously medical laboratory scientists, but then a lot of biomedical scientists now, it's not ending up in lab. So they venture further. Where they goes to, they ended up as forensic scientists. We have a module on forensic, right? So they ended up as product and application specialists. You can tell me like, why should be I going around and selling products? So it's not like degree holder is selling product nowadays, that is technical expert. Basically, products can be like medical devices, like the doctors is using in the surgeries. Oops, it's moving. Okay. It can be like the devices used during the surgeries, very specific medical things. So these type of things, right, we need the expertise to convey the information to even the doctor, how to use it and all that. So nowadays, product and application specialists, right, it's no longer degree candidates. People are requiring even master or PhD. So it's not sales, it's more towards like specialists in that particular field, right? So we also have medical research scientists, embryologists, another very interesting field, very upcoming field. We have a lot of IVF centers coming in. Infertility is getting very common nowadays. So biomedical science is actually giving you a stepping stone for you to enter clinical embryology field. Okay, so we have our students, ex-students, obviously, alumni now, ending up as junior embryologists, right? So whatever I'm putting it here is because I already have testimony that our student has been ended up there. Okay, entrepreneur, maybe people can just start up business. We also have students, previous cohort started up their own venture in business. Academic lecturer, like what we are, like all our colleagues here. So we are academician, comes researcher. Medical underwriter, this is another very, very interesting field. This is associated with insurance, right? Because a lot of case writing, right? The medical assessor, they need this specific knowledge of biomedical science, means like how the condition occurs in the body, what went wrong. Okay, so all these types of the thing have to be written well in the scientific writing so that people can interpret. So later the case pass or not. So it's not a normal job, you really need that particular expertise on strong particular expertise and also strong background in biomedical science, right? And also claim associates or claim executive, right? So you can see biomedical science, it's not related to lab alone, Now it's like it can venture to many different fields as well. Okay, so yeah, moving on to IMU University. Of course, you are here, you want to listen about what biomedical science is, right? But I'm hoping that I can also explore further to give you some details on the university and the program that we offer in IMU itself, touching more on biomedical science, yeah? So as of 2025, you can see IMU is offering 48 programs. So we are very, very established in medical and health sciences, right? And we also have our own self-accreditation status, right? So we have 2 foundation, 17 undergraduate and 31 postgraduate programs. Program descriptions, yeah, just like medical biotech, we are also having 3 years program. As what we can see, mode of delivery is conventional, full-time, right? So we are only having 1 intake per year. So it's either you come in July and start with our MPU semester, or you come in September and then you start with our SEM 1, right? So when we say long SEM, we have 6 long SEM. It's about 17 weeks per SEM. And then we have 2 short SEM. We have 8 weeks and 9 weeks, right? So 8 weeks will be for the MPU, 9 weeks will be for the industrial training. I'll talk about this later on, yeah? So the program is very stable. So up to last year, we have actually produced about 560 students from 14 cohorts. And the recently graduated cohort last year, we had about 55 students, okay? So this is our highlight because we also have international benchmark. So you can see that our program is aligned with international competency standard for biomedical science. So this is the one from UK, okay, set by Institute of Biomedical Science UK. So we are accredited internationally. So our graduate who have IBMS accreditation, accredited degree, right? So they are eligible to apply for registered or applied for biomedical scientists with HCPC, okay, in UK. So this is upon the completion of IBMS certificate of competency training portfolio. So once you complete the test, then you can get this certification. Okay, so we are also currently having articulation pathways, means we have partner universities, very established partner universities. We have been sending our students every year, right? So we have University of Newcastle, Otago, and also Strathclyde, right? So Newcastle in Australia, Otago is in New Zealand, as what you can see here, and Strathclyde is in UK. Entry requirement, yeah, so I'm not going to touch each and everything. So as what you can see here, we have listed most of it. And just like what Dr. Yanni mentioned just now, you can just Google our IMU Biomedical Science entry requirement. Then you'll get our brochure. As easy as that, right? Okay. Our program structure, so I've actually put it all in one slide. So like what I mentioned just now, if you're coming in July intake, right? So you will be starting with MPU semester first. I didn't put MPU semester here because I highlight more on the program structure itself. So you will start with the MPU semester. If you are coming in September, that's what you can see, you will start in semester 1 and you will be doing the MPU at the end of the studies after your internship, right? So what would be our unique selling point, biomedical science in IMU specifically? Okay, if you compare biomedical science with other program, means like other universities, our unique selling point is we are having integration of organ system modules. We basically mimic this medical curricula for clinical relevance. Means you obviously know how the system works and how it went wrong, and then how to diagnose it. Okay, we're actually giving you the whole comprehensive knowledge, right? So year 1 is what you can see, semester 1. So I'm not going to tell one by one. You can have a look on the modules. But year 1 will be more on building the foundation. So our focus will be on basic sciences. So on all the biology, biochemistry, anatomy, physiology, and statistics. So students will also start on organ system modules during their SEM 2, as what you can see, cardiovascular and respiratory systems, right? And we also have lab instrumentation and genetics. Okay, then moving on into your year 2. So it will be more on clinical relevance. So you can see a lot more of organ system modules coming in. We also have clinical biochemistry, immunology, parasitology, genomics. So this basically expose you to the real world medical applications, right? And you also begin with data analytics, like we have selective, right? So selective, we can select, students can actually select from radiobiology or healthcare data analytics, right? And then year three, so year three focus more on diagnostic and industry setting. So we have two internship. I'll talking about that later on, right? So students are also given the opportunity to take up research project in SEM 5. As you can see, that would be individual project. Okay, so you obviously have hands-on experience, and then you will work with under the supervision of a lecturers, and you will submit your thesis. So you'll have your presentation, proposal presentation, your final finding presentation, and all that, right? So beside that, we also have biomedical toxicology and also forensic science. Okay. Yeah, so as what you can see, I don't want to read all that, but I'm just going to tell you that it won't be boring. It will be very exciting because you can see the numbers of teaching and learning strategies that we are having it here. Okay, it's not a typical mode anymore. So we have various strategies so that you will feel excited. You come for the class and you can focus, you can score, and you gain a lot of knowledge, right? And we also following the up to the trend standards. Obviously, we have AI coming in. So integration of technology enhanced learning tools in our program provide innovative and also engaging education experience. Like what we can see here, we have virtual medical lab. We also have virtual reality microbiology laboratory. So this is a very interesting one that launched last year. So it's like you can do the test. You will have the experience of doing the test virtually. Okay, so if you're interested, you can always come and talk to us. We can give you a try. Micro learning video and also gamification. Practical attachment, yeah, this is another selling point, I would say. Why? Because we have two types of attachment. First, touching on our core business, obviously, going into diagnostic laboratory. So this is 17 weeks, right? And then we also expose the student to industry. So this is when you go to pharmaceutical company, research institute. This is based on what your passion lies later on. Let's say you don't want to end up in biomedical lab, pathology labs and all that. So industry will be the right place for you to venture. What are the other fields that you're going to move on later in your life, right? So some people will go for insurance company. This is the time that they explore IVF centers, right? So I'll talk about our graduate training program and how we help to cater the employability later on, yeah? Okay, so this is not the fixed list. I'm just showing you the example. Okay, so these are some of the example of clinical placement where our biomedical science students conduct their practical attachment, the 17 weeks, the one that I mentioned just now. So it basically range from public to private laboratories in Malaysia. Okay. So another question will be, a lot of students used to ask me, do I need to search for my own placement? You can suggest, but we already have a number of placement in the list for you to select, right? So we'll do the matching, okay? And industry placement, so like what you can see, this is also example. So for industry placement, where our students have been going. So usually industry placement, we also provide them the opportunity to go out from the country. So you can see like number 1 to 13. This was our last year student. Yeah. So basically you can see they went to overseas, like quite a huge number went overseas. I think touching 50%, right? So this is for their outbound student mobility. So basically what they get international learning experience, right? So they brush up their research skills and also provide opportunity to mingle with those experts. And then some of them ended up as postgraduate students there itself. Okay, so if you're not going up, there are varieties of places that you can go for the local placement as well, right? So you can see like insurance, and we also have diagnostic expert here, and pharma and biotech companies. Some are also going to like research institute, IMR, Symbiosis, UMBI, a lot of places, right? Okay. Then research exposure. This is basically just showing you like our research component is embedded in the curriculum. We're actually giving a very good research foundation for our students, right? So you will have research methodology in SEM4, teach you how to present, how to come out with your methodology and all that. And then you'll be having the hands-on project during your SEM5 research project, right? So you will be supervised, you will have your individual topic. Like all this is one of the like a few examples that I can show you. So you also can see some transcriptomic analysis, So yeah, we are up to the trend even for FYP. And just showing you how IMU look like if you're not familiar. So yeah, we have adequate space in Bukit Jalil campus. Now we also have second campus, right? Biomedical science and medical biotech, we are placed here in Bukit Jalil campus. So we have auditorium, like what you can see, lecture hall, tutorial room, discussion rooms, right? Laboratories. So we have 9 laboratories available for the students for practical classes, right? And we also have research lab for PG students, postgraduate students. Independent learning areas. So this is basically, you can find it in library and our level 1, right? Just to show you that we have very conducive learning experience. So student activity, so we don't make your life boring, just come here, study, and then go back, sit for exams, submit assignments and reports, right? So life should be interesting. So our students enjoy doing activity because this is where you brush up your skills, your soft skills, your leadership skills, right? So that is very important as well, right? So you can see the opportunities students involved in their society. We have very strong ISBS society involved in community service, inborn student activity, even like open day or any school activity. We also provide the experience for the students to join us. Student achievement, yeah. So one of the most fulfilling part, obviously, when we see our student performing beyond whatever that they're doing in the classroom, right? So these are the few examples that highlight the talent, dedication, and potential of our students. You see, every time our students go out, they surely bring something which makes us very happy, right? So you can see best poster award, second prize in InterVarsity. This is all national level, right? And yeah, you see entrepreneurship, we won first prize. This is university level. This is national level itself. The one on poster presentation is on national level, conducted in UPM last year. Okay, so we also share students' achievement and experience because that will be source of inspiration for the juniors. They see the seniors are performing very well and they are also interested, right? So another thing to share, you can see the one Chang Huyun. She actually got an offer last year as a venipuncturist in National Health Service in Edinburgh. Okay, she secured a position there in Edinburgh. So our staff, so a quick run through, yeah, promote my staff. So our team consists of 9 of us. So lead by Dr. Korunian, she's the HOD. So I'm the program director. We have 2 professors, 4 associate professors, and 3 lecturers in the team. So you can see we are not lecturers alone, but we are also researchers. So those in the red is actually our expertise. Okay. So yeah, Dr. Lim is here. Okay, so okay. And then graduate employment. So this is the one that I wanted to show to you because you can see like what I'm talking about, like being in biomedical science, we are now breaking the mindset of biomedical scientists ended up in lab or ending up in lab. It's not true anymore. You can see our previous graduate employment survey in hospital is only about 25%. So people are going beyond the traditional rules already, right? So our alumni venturing into product specialists, it's about 24%, right? Embryologists, it's growing 3%. And then insurance and a claim associate, insurance underwriter or claim associate. This is a growing field as well, right? Because it really needs the strong foundation in organ systems, right? The conditions and the diseases, right? Postgraduate and research assistant or research associate is about 18%, right? So you can see this basically highlights the versatility of the program. So it can cater you into many different job scopes, right? And yeah, my last slide. So basically, like now we have GTP. So Dr. Yanni mentioned about GTP also. We'll talk about this more on our next live talk, yeah. But then just giving you a hint up, I think IMU is the first to come up with graduate training program. We are basically giving you early exposure to the real world industry. Means we are doing matching with the industry partner. We are by securing the internship, and it also serves as the incubation or probation period. So that they know you, and then you easily can be employed by either internship provider itself, right? And we also have IAB, Industry Advisory Board. So we usually work closely with them. Why? Because we want to update our program based on the current trends and innovation. We wanted to promote innovation. So this basically help our graduate to stay aligned with the industry need and also the trend. Yeah, I think I'm on time. So thank you very much. Please follow us on Instagram, guys. So if you've got any question, you can always send me an email, right? So let's get in touch. Thank you very much. Back to you, Dr. Lim.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shamala. I think that was a lovely introduction to the program. Thank you, Dr. Yanni, as well. So now that you have a good overview of medical biotechnology and biomedical science programs, I think this is the time to answer your questions. As you can see in the Q&A, now everybody can see the Q&A chat box, the Q&A box, right? Some questions have been kindly answered by Dr. Yanni and also by our enrollment team. Yeah. So I will leave the questions about enrollment, for example, scholarship, entry requirements to the experts, our enrollment team, Ms. Lau and also Ms. Maisara. But we will answer some questions regarding the program live. Yeah. So may I request Dr. Yanni to turn on your camera so we can see each other again. So first question. So I'm going to address the questions in the Q&A box first, yeah? First question by anonymous attendee would like to ask, what is the minimum degree year required to work in biomed science industries in Malaysia? Dr. Shamala, would you like to answer that? I suppose they're asking about how many years does the degree is a requirement for the degree, right?
Yeah, I think they're asking about like with degree with biomedical science, can I secure a job? I think that is the question. So because I've mentioned that the duration is 3 years, right? So obviously, yes, it's not like based on the survey that I showed just now, it's not everyone is going for masters or PhD. You only can see about like 18% going for master and PhD. So the rest is securing jobs among whatever that I have mentioned just now, maybe in pharma company or our medical lab scientists in the pathology labs and so on. So obviously, definitely it's a yes. So with degree itself, you can secure a position.
Yeah, I think just to add on to Dr. Shamala, it doesn't really matter the number of years. So you will notice that some biomedical science degrees are 4 years, some are 3 years. So for IMU, biomedical science is a 3-year program, which is quite rare, especially in Malaysia nowadays. But not to worry, because we are MQA accredited, we're also IBMS accredited, which is an international accreditation. And as long as we meet the program standards, and we also are obtaining accreditation from the Council, Allied Health Professions Council. So we are an accredited program. So it doesn't matter the number of years, even if it's a 3-year program, it is a fully fledged recognized program. So I hope that answers it.
Compact.
Yes, it's just compact, you will have less holidays. Probably.
Yes,
that's
the reason.
And it's still an honors degree.
Yes, and it's an honors degree. So if you notice the title, the program title, bracket HONS, that's honors, and that means it has a research component in the program. So both medical biotechnology and biomedical science, we have a full research project embedded within the program. So I'm going to leave the other questions from anonymous attendee about scholarship, about overall cost to our experts, also on entry requirements, to our enrollment team. Maybe we'll try to answer this question. Which degree would be advised to further into immunology, if possible? So I'd like to answer this question live. Anyone like to take up this question? Which degree would be advised to further into immunology? Well, perhaps biomedical science, yeah?
Yeah. So can I? Yeah, I think
Please.
would sorry, Dr. Yani. I think it will be right to go for biomedical science. Why? Because we have a module on immunology. So somehow you will have a foundation on what immunology will be all about. And then it's easier for you to venture into immunology later on for your higher degree, for your master's or PhD. If you want to do research, then you can go for research mode. If you want to do coursework, then you can do modules related to immunology later on, right? And just like forensic, we have module in forensic, and later on people are going into masters in forensic, also to our partner university sometimes, right? So you usually grow from the foundation that we provide to you. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Shamala. Dr. Yenny, would you like to answer that? Give your take on that question.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a module on immunology, but it's more on molecular biology and immunology. I think in the end, it depends on the questions like, what do you mean by you want to go into immunology? Do you mean as an immunologist or a research pathway in immunology? Because if, let's say, in terms of research in immunology, basically medical biotech, biomedical sciences, both works fine, in my opinion, because in biotechnology, we also emphasize a lot on the research techniques, and immunology is also one of the research field that we can actually venture on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to clarify, both biomedical science and medical biotech, but it depends on which aspect of immunology. If you're talking about clinical diagnostic, clinical immunology, then it would be more suitable for biomedical science. But if you're talking about immunobiology in terms of research, then in terms of molecular biology, then medical biotech, would also covers focuses on that. So I hope that answers your question. Just going to skip on okay, thank you. Our team is answering question on Canadian curriculum. Question on, please let me know the pathway for medicine from biomedical science. Dr. Shamala?
Okay, so as of now, pathway is once you complete biomedical science, and then you will be enrolled into medicine, but we are working on exemption. So most probably we can get 1 semester exemption starting this year. So it's either you finish your foundation and you score very well, you get into medicine. So sometimes people don't score well, right? So what they do, they come to biomedical science, they also gain more knowledge, and then they enroll into medicine. But as of now, you've completed and then you still go for full term of medicine. But we are trying to get 1 semester exemption. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shamala. I think pertaining to the question, this is a very similar question, but this is for international applicants. So after completing 3 years of biomedical degree in IMU, can student proceed to medical degree in Australia, New Zealand, or UK? And how long would the medical degree in these countries if accepted? This is a bit tricky question, because it pertains to entry requirements into the medical program of those universities. How do we address this question?
I think Dr. Lim have said that rightly, because actually it depends on the university, right? Because like IMU and I think some university in Malaysia with biomedical science, you can straight away get into their MBBS, because that is like one of the requirement. But it's differ from country to country, university to university actually. So we still need to like go through their requirement and see whether it's sufficient, but usually should be fine because it's a degree, and then you're still going for MBBS, right? But still it's we have to check back their own entry requirement.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Shamala. Just add on to that. In some countries, for example, in the US, the applicants into the MD, we don't call it MBBS, medical degree, requires a basic science degree. So you have to be a degree holder. So it's a graduate entry, and that means you need to have undergraduate degree. And biomedical science is one of those degrees that they look for, right? As to whether the university overseas accepts biomedical science from IMU program as an entry requirement, you would need to check the entry requirements of those universities, right? Okay, very quickly, I'm scrolling down because we have an interactive activity at the end. Maybe you can answer Mr. Ramaswamy. So 3 questions. Can international students get placements in Malaysia? Maybe Dr. Yenny, you would like to answer the question? Can international students get placements in Malaysia? So I suppose it's about internships, yes.
Get opportunities abroad through, yes, we do. We actually encourage our students to actually go overseas for their internship for better exposure and also the real experience.
So it doesn't matter whether it's a Malaysian student or international student, right?
They still allow them to go overseas. Yeah.
Right. So how about local placements? How about placements in Malaysia? Can international students get placements in Malaysia?
Yeah, definitely. Because we also have our GTP partners, like graduate training program partners, where we also highly encourage our students. If let's say you would like to intern locally, then high chances we will encourage you to apply to our GTP, which is better chances to get. Of course, let's say you would like to venture to other companies which are not our GTP partners, then what we do is that we will support your application by guiding you through the process of application. That's what I've been doing also at the moment.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Yenny. I suppose the only barrier would be the local language, right? Malay, Bahasa, we call it Bahasa Malaysia. So for placements that require proficiency in Bahasa Malaysia, then we may not recommend such placements, but you can look for placements in private industries or placements that usually converse in English. So it's not really a big issue, for both medical biotech and for biomedical science. I probably just answer one more question. So sorry, perhaps if we have time, we will answer those questions. We will type those answers in the Q&A box. But just one more question before we move on to activity. Could we explain IBMS accreditation once again? There's something about training portfolio. So it's very specific to biomedical science. Dr. Shamala?
Yeah, it's basically like once you have IBMS, you have biomedical science degree, right? It's like you have to sit for qualification test in order for you to get that particular certification. That's what I mentioned just now.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much, our lovely PDs. We have prepared some questions for the forum, but I think this is better, answering questions from our participants. I'll go straight to the activity very quickly. Just let me share my screen. Well, I hope this works, yeah. Give me a moment. So I'll need you to whip out your phones if you're not already using your phones to watch this live talk. Okay, can you see my screen?
Loading.
It's loading. Okay. Yeah. So if you see my screen, there's a QR code. And this is quizzes. Basically, it's a live quiz. And sometimes we use live quizzes, Kahoot, in our teaching and learning sessions. So do join this quiz on how much do you know about biomedical science and medical biotechnology. Just 8 questions, 10 seconds per question. Just give your gut answer, and then we will see. Yeah. Okay, if you hear that popping sound, it's probably entering new participants. We have 14 participants now. Okay, I'm gonna shift my shared screen to the quizzes screen. Just give me a moment. Okay, our program directors can also participate if you want to. see whether you can answer those questions as well. Just kidding, huh? Okay, share sound. All right, do you see my screen? So we have about 38 participants already in. 38 participants, 41. Just give it 1 or 2 minutes more for them to join. Just scan this QR code or go to joinmyquiz.com, enter this code, and then you're in. Okay. You can see your name on the screen. Okay, your nicknames. Just a few more, and then we'll start. So you should be able to see your questions on your screen. Okay. Yeah. Any more? Okay, no more. I'll just start the quiz. This shows the class accuracy. So you can see the answers, the questions being answered. So this is how we also monitor our students' progress. So I like to use quizzes. No worries, right? If you get red, that means it's the correct answer. But we'll go through the questions together. Okay, remember, just go with your gut feeling, yeah? Doesn't matter the wrong or right answer. It's about 50-50, yeah? 60%. Okay, just wait for more to respond. Right? We only support 55. So far, none has gotten it all correct, but it's okay. Some of the questions are quite tricky, intentionally, so we can discuss it together. Just give it a little bit more time for you to answer the questions. Some have yet to start, huh? So go, Hyra, Jovial, PWW. Would you like to start? Okay, if not, then we wait for also LK and Anisha to complete, and then we can start looking at it. So again, this is called quizzes. We have various platforms for interactivity, which is one of them. And we use this during tutorials, classrooms, even during our lectures to make it a little bit more fun, less boring. So lectures can be quite boring because it's one-sided. So we use quizzes like this to test your knowledge and also for you to have some fun. Okay, are we done? We just wait for Anisha and SP to finish. Okay, yeah. A few more questions to go. Come on. calculation time, we will stop, yeah? Okay, it's now 9:12. I'm sorry for those who are still working on your questions. Not to worry, we'll go through them together. Okay? All right. Let's switch on the sound. Okay. Now it's a little okay. The first question, which program is more research heavy, Biomed or Biotech? Let's see. 47 got it incorrect. 23 correct. So there are more people who answer this incorrectly. And this is also a quite tricky question. Which programs do you think are more research heavy?
I think both are.
Both are? Okay, the answer is actually both. Why both? Because remember, both programs have a research module.
Component.
Yes. And it
And it's
lasts
in
one
as well.
semester, you know?
Right.
That's why we have an honors program. So the answer is both. There's no either programs research heavy, and many of our graduates, both medical biotech and biomedical science, they do further studies, postgraduate research. Yeah. So answer is both. So which program is more industry driven? What do you think? Which program is more industry driven?
Biotech.
Biotech. Now we have something, if you listen carefully to our program directors, we have something called the IAB, Industry Advisory Board, and we formally appoint these representatives from the industry. They could be line managers, they could be CEOs from companies, our employers, our students' employers, and we bring them in. We have a forum, we let them talk to our students and also advise us during our curriculum review. So just tell us whether our curriculum is up to date and what the employers expect. So which one is more industry driven? Actually, both. Yeah,
Both.
but the industries could be slightly different. So, for example, biomedical science, one of the industries could be a diagnostic laboratory, for example, National Heart Institute, IJN, the lab principal medical laboratory scientist, Mr. Goh. So we have had him as an industry advisory board member for many years. Whereas in medical biotech, we have companies like Cell Agritech, yeah, and these
Stem
are
cell companies.
yes, stem cell companies, cryocort. So these are more biotech focused. All right. So I hope that addresses your doubt. If you love hospitals, Biomed or Biotech, I'm surprised 19 of you got this incorrect. Okay. If you love hospitals, which one? Very obvious answer is
Hospitals.
Biomed.
Biomed. Yes,
Yeah.
Biomed. So not to say medical biotech graduates can't work in hospitals, but they can work not in the diagnostic lab necessarily, but maybe in the QA, right? In the QA, QC.
Clinical
Yes.
research associate.
Yes,
We deal
clinical
with
research
doctors.
associate.
Yeah.
Exactly. So more to Biomed. Yeah, if you like hospitals, you like clinical diagnostics, that's more to Biomed. If you love startups and innovation, Biomed or Biotech?
Biotech.
More towards biotech.
Yes.
This is
So
what
this is
applied.
more to biotech. If you have also paid attention to Dr. Yenny's talk on the curriculum structure, there's a lot of focus on entrepreneurship, business management. So we're training future CEOs, right? Although biomedical science also has an entrepreneurship module, but the focus on entrepreneurship is more in the medical biotech program. So I hope, now we're more aware of that. More chemistry, Biomed or Biotech?
Biomed.
Most of them got this wrong.
Biomed.
Yes. Believe me, three of us may disagree as well, yeah? The thing is, in Biomed, we have a chemistry component, but it's more clinical chemistry, clinical biochemistry. So it's biomolecules
It's
in
biochemistry specifically.
Yes. For biotech, it's more analytical chemistry, applied chemistry,
analytical,
right?
structural
Yes.
chemistry.
Yes.
Basically, we have 2 or 3 models in chemistry in biotech as well. I think biochemistry is like, it must be there, you know.
Because
It's
it's
a
medical
component that must
biotech,
be
right?
there. Yes. Chemistry is
Yes.
important.
Yes, chemistry is important. So both have chemistry, but in different versions. Okay.
That's right.
More
Ours
genetic
more towards
engineering.
biochemistry.
Yeah. Sorry?
Ours is more towards biochemistry. We have general
Yes.
biochemistry, metabolic
Yes.
biochemistry, clinical biochemistry. So
And
if
by the
talking
way, yes, Dr.
chemistry
Shamala
alone,
is our biochemist.
yeah, so talking about chemistry alone, I think it's not a standalone lah. So biochemistry, I think it's more towards biomed. Yeah. Again, back to what Dr. Lim said, the specialization, whether it's applied or biochem. Yeah.
Right. Okay, thank you. More genetic engineering, Biomed or Biotech? Most of you got
Biotech.
this right. Yes, this is
Biotech.
a very obvious answer. Genetic engineering, bioinformatics, molecular biology, that would be more biotech.
Cloning and all. Yeah.
Yes, if you
Yeah,
like
biotech.
cloning, biotech. Okay, so clinical, this one very obvious.
This one
19,
no
again,
need.
19. You weren't listening.
How
19, you weren't
got
listening.
19 incorrect? Oh my God. Come
It's
and
okay,
find
it's
out.
okay. We're not judging here. We're not assessing. We're all lecturers, so we tend to want to assess students. So clinical, diagnostic laboratory exposure, definitely biomed. Although there has been instances where biotech graduates can be employed as medical laboratory scientists, but it's slowly being phased out because of the Allied Health Professions Act. Now they look more closely at the qualifications for medical laboratory scientists. So it's more to biomed. This one, okay? Last question. More opportunities overseas, biomed or biotech?
Both.
Yes. The answer is both. So if you notice, we have an internship module in medical biotech. We have a practical attachment, industry attachment module in biomedical science. Yeah, both we have overseas applicants, students attached overseas, right? Yeah, both in research and also in industry. So the answer is both. More opportunities overseas, both programs offer that. All right, so I hope you had fun playing this game. Yeah, again, it is also very satisfying for us to share all this information with you. So I'll just take this last 10 minutes or so to share some information with you. Let me just unshare now. Okay. So request the PDs if you have a bit of time, if you can look into the Q&A box, please do try and answer the questions. If we can't get your questions answered in this session, feel free to write to us. Go to our website at imu.edu.my, and then you can always email our enrollment team and we'll try and answer your questions. Just let me share my screen again. Okay. Right, you see my screen? Put it on the screen. Do you see my screen? Is it loading?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, thank you so much. We've come to almost to the end of today's live talk. We have a series of live talks coming up in June and also in July. So if you'd like to register, please note down on your calendars. We don't have the landing page. That means we don't have the website for registration as yet. So we're working on it. But please take down if you're interested in career opportunities. You want to specifically find out about what sort of careers our graduates go into. On the 17th of June for medical biotechnology, on the 19th of June, just 2 days after that, on biomedical science. We are inviting our graduates, our alumni, to come back and talk to us about their journeys from the program, getting a degree, medical biotech or biomedical science, to where they are now in the industry, in academia. So for example, Dr. Adam Lim is now our faculty. He's a lecturer and he was once a medical biotechnology student from IMU. Right, so we can't wait to see you again in these 2 live talks. And in July, on the 12th of July, we have a forensic science-based live talk by a forensic pathologist, no less. So Dr. Samira is a Sri Lankan forensic pathologist. He's also a very well-versed lecturer in forensic science. Remember, we have forensic science module in both programs, BM and also MP. Okay, so stay tuned. Now, just also some information on our upcoming workshops. We have 2 workshops. Now, these are, we do charge a bit of fees for this, but because we are inviting top-notch speakers from the industry, so in August, on the 18th of August, we'll have a workshop, a full-day workshop on crime scene and clandestine drug lab investigation. So it's all about forensic CSI. So if you like CSI, you may want to consider attending this workshop. It will be in IMU University, Bukit Jalil. Yeah. And on the 10th of October, we will have a clinical embryology. If you're interested in becoming a clinical embryologist, you want to work in an IVF center, you like to help couples conceive, have babies. Yeah. Many couples nowadays are not able to have children. So clinical embryologists actually work in this area, yeah, IVF clinics. So feel free to explore this workshop as well. So yeah, we've come to the end of our session. We'd love to hear from you how well we've done and any points for improvement. So please do scan this QR code and tell us how we can improve further for our future live talks. If you have any suggestions, we'd love to hear them. If you'd like to praise our speakers, we'd love to hear that too. Okay, so yeah, I'll just stay on this page for a little while for you to scan the QR codes. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, I hope you had a chance to scan the QR code. Now, before we end, so it's now, all right, we have 7 minutes more, 7 minutes more. Dr. Shamala, do you have anything else that you'd like to add on? I may have missed.
No, but I saw a few questions. Still asking what is the difference between biomedical science and
I
medical
saw that
biotech.
as well.
Yeah, so maybe I just add a little bit in a very simple sentence here. So
Sure.
biomedical science is more clinical and diagnostic focus. Okay, clinical and diagnostic focus, right? Like what I talked about earlier. So medical biotech is more, Dr. Yenny can add later, but more towards innovation and it's applied, right? It's more towards like product development and all that. So, Dr. Yenny, you wanted to add on medical biotech? Am I telling it rightly? It's more towards innovation, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. So, medical biotech basically is like applied biotech techniques. That's what we're going to emphasize in the curriculum. More on teaching students on the medical products development, yeah, drugs, vaccine, diagnostic tools. It's like how we can solve the problems. Meanwhile, I think for Biomed, will be like, what is the problem? The underlying cause of the problem. So it's like what and how, I feel. If I explain that clearly.
Yeah. So basically in biomedical science, right, we focus on understanding the disease. Okay. So how when the processes or metabolism went rightly, how when it went wrong, and then how to diagnose that and how to do the lab testing. This is what our focus is. So medical biotech usually, like what Dr. Yenny said, they target more on all the biological tools to develop medical products or even treatment, vaccines, right? So they move towards that particular field. So you can also differentiate based on our core subject. So like what I told you just now, we have organ system modules, hematology, histopathology, clinical biochem, all this you can see in the pathology lab, right? While medical biotech, you can see they are more towards like genetic engineering, bioprocessing, molecular biology, right? And also genomics. Am I telling it rightly? Yeah, Dr. Yenny?
I agree with you.
Okay. So the lab skills also, you see biomedical science is more towards diagnostic lab technique. And then medical biotech is research-based lab techniques. So I hope that at least now you can see the difference. So where the applications is biomedical science, you work in clinical diagnostic hospital lab and also like more towards disease research and all that. medical biotech, if you're interested in drug development, vaccine production, medical device innovation, it's more towards that particular application or field, right? So yeah, I think career pathway, please come back again in June and listen. Yeah, thank you so much.
June. Yeah, see you in June.
Yeah, our program directors summed it up very nicely. So I think that's our key objective for this live talk. If we don't achieve our objective, I don't think we have done a good job. So at least you're clearer on what's the difference between these two programs. Yeah. There are a lot of questions on chat. Thank you for spending this 1.5 hours with us. Really appreciate your time. Some of you have classes tomorrow. Some of you need to go to work. But thank you for being with us and trying to understand what's the difference between these two industries and programs. I hope we have answered most of your questions, if not all, but we'll try and answer them later in that thank you email. Okay, so I think that's it. So thank you again. Have a lovely week.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Dr. Lim. Thanks to
Thank
you
you
as
so
well.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Thanks.
Shirley.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye.
Shamala.
Good night.
Thank you, my Sarah and Trayon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
evening.
Yeah,
See
see
you
you
all
in
again
June.
in
Yeah,
June.
we have a date. See you in
Please come
June.
back.
17th, 19th of June.
Come back in June. Yeah.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.